ॐ विश्वं दर्पणदृश्यमाननगरी तुल्यन्नितान्तर्गतं पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिरिवोद्भूतं यथा निद्रया यः साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयं तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये बीजस्यान्तरिवाङ्कुरो जगदिदं प्राङ्निर्विकल्पं पुनः मायाकल्पितदेशकालकलना वैचित्रचित्रीकृतं मायावीव विजृम्भयत्यपि महायोगी वयस्वेच्छया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः 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 सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ॐ So we'll see the summary of this chapter which we completed, third chapter. And as the title indicates, the main topic is Karma Yoga. And the background of this chapter is Arjuna's doubt, which he expressed in the beginning of the chapter itself. And Arjuna's doubt, of course, is based on Lord's teaching in the second chapter. In second chapter, Bhagavan said, that, both, in fact, he dealt with both yogas, Jnana Yoga and Karma Yoga, both. And then, of course, he gave a lot of emphasis because Arjuna's problem was of a sorrow. And Bhagavan very nicely established that the sorrow can be removed with the help of this Jnanam. Atma Jnanam alone can get, can definitely put an end to the sorrow. So, and also Bhagavan gave Jnanam between verse number 12 to 25, and then also he described this Jnani from verse 54 onwards, 55 onwards, Sita Prajna Lakshanam, where he praised, he sang the glory of this wise person who has this knowledge. So that's very clear that Bhagavan's basically was thirst, is on Jnana. And he also described Karma Yoga also, Karmanyevadhikarastha, etc. And not only that, he told Arjuna also to fight the war also. And so, that yogastha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya, etc., etc. And siddhya siddhyo samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. So, Arjuna, may you do your karma, let's fight this war. So, even though Krishna has made the teaching very clear, because of Arjuna did not listen properly, and so perhaps, or maybe filtered listening, because he did not want this war at all. So he did not want to fight at all. And so he has not grasped the teaching in entirety, we can say. And therefore he got a doubt. Doubt is that if Jnana Yoga is very important, and Jnana Yoga alone leads to this, freedom from sorrow, etc., then, oh Lord, you should persuade me for gaining Jnana. On the other hand, you are glorifying Jnana Yoga and you are persuading for doing karma. And so advising me to follow Karma Yoga, etc. And so if you glorify Karma Yoga, I am ready to do karma. This fighting war, etc. But it is understandable. But basically you are glorifying Jnanam, wise person, Jnani also, and at the same time telling me to do karma. And therefore he got a doubt basically. And with that introduction in the third chapter, in the beginning itself, well, the chapter has started actually. And in that, this chapter, from verse number 1 to 7, basically, we have the introduction in which Arjuna asks the question that Krishna, tell me which is better. Should I follow Jnana Yoga or should I follow Karma Yoga? Which is better for getting freedom from the sorrow forever, permanently? It is for gaining moksha. So if you consider Jnana Yoga is better, please do not tell me to fight the war, and especially the war, well, which I cannot take to at all. So this was his doubt, and that was in this introductory portion. Then Bhagavan make a certain fundamental, so very clear, and which is very important for every seeker to know. And the points that we have made is in this context are this basically. What? First thing is, there is no choice between Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga. That is the first thing. And so we can never ask this kind of question, which one is better. Like, you can definitely ask which shirt is better, which trouser is better. So you have a choice regarding that. But you cannot have a choice whether trouser is better or shirt is better. Which one? That kind of a choice person will not have all. And therefore, so there is no choice between two so far as. So if Karma Yoga is a means for liberation and Jnana Yoga is another alternative means for liberation, well, then you can ask a question, which one is better. But moksha or the liberation is nothing but this ajnana nivrutti, getting freedom, getting rid of this self-ignorance. And therefore jnanam alone is a solution. Yeah, if you want a liberation or not, that's your choice. But if you want a moksha, and then there is no choice at all between that whether Karma Yoga is good or Jnana Yoga is good. Jnanam alone is giving the moksha. And therefore, that's question, it does not arise at all. That's the first point. Next problem is, well, if I have to take a Jnana Yoga, this is Arjuna's mind, So if I have to take a Jnana Yoga, I have to possess required qualification. Or it's our problem, let's say. So not only for a Jnana Yoga, anything in life requires qualification. Even to get operated also, you require qualification. So previously they say you this many taste, well, let you get it done. And then only they decide to operate. So anything requires a qualification. Learning music, anything. Gaining any kind of a knowledge requires qualification, and therefore, well, Jnanam gives moksha, but then to gain Jnanam, you should be qualified. And so, definitely, that qualification is, one gains a qualification through Karma Yoga. And here, qualification in terms of this knowledge will be a certain maturity, emotional maturity, or certain purity of the mind. So, this is what it is, You are free from sorrow. To know that, you have to make your mind free from ragadvesha. So you have to gain the purity in order to understand that Atma is ever pure. It is never tainted by the sorrow at all. Anyway, so these qualifications we have to acquire before entering a Jnana Yoga. And the qualifications can be acquired by Karma Yoga. There also there is no choice. And so moksha can be gained through Jnana Yoga. And and then of course Jnanam involves Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam, etc. that is there. And so this is a path, clear. So if you want a moksha, then definitely you should follow Karma Yoga, gain or acquire qualification, follow Jnana Yoga, and then attain moksha. So there is no question of any confusion, and any other confusion is our creation. So if you talk of any other yoga, that also should be combined in Karma Yoga. And Ashtanga Yoga also is a part of Karma Yoga, and Japa Yoga, and so many yogas are there now. Shiva Yoga is there, and so many yogas. All the yogas should be combined with the Karma Yoga. Hatha Yoga also, and Bhakti Yoga also, and all. And so there are two yogas only. Two disciplines basically to gain moksha. One is for gaining qualification, and another is basically to getting rid of this self-ignorance. And so Arjuna, your question is basically wrong. Well, never ask which yoga is better. Follow both. Yeah, but then to follow both, you have a choice again, and if a choice of a lifestyle. So there is a choice with regard to a lifestyle that you should take to. So there is something called pravritti marga, we call as a grihasthashrama, etc. A life in a society, active life basically, with a family, children, and with activities, etc., which is called pravritti marga. And there is another lifestyle which is called nivritti marga, where I do not take any responsibility. Then you do not have any duties too, and so no family, no possession, no work. And so one is grihasthashrama, one lifestyle, and another is a sannyasashrama. Between two ways of life, which is called nishtha by Bhagwan, well, you have a choice. So whatever be the lifestyle you choose, but you have to follow both the yogas in any lifestyle. And so a grihasthashrama also, if a person chooses active lifestyle, there also one has to follow karma yoga and jnana yoga. Well, there is no choice in that. Or if you choose a nivritti marga, sannyasa ashrama, etc., well, there also one has a karma yoga. A sannyasi also has a certain karmas to do. And especially, dandi sannyasis, hamsa sannyasi we call, they have a more karmas. They have so many karmas, my God, that they keep that danda. So hamsa sannyasi means a dandi sannyasi. You might have seen several sannyasis keep danda. All our Shankaracharyas also have. That's called dharma danda. And they have to do a elaborate puja of that danda, dharma danda. They cannot keep it anywhere. And it should not be kept on the floor. And so many stipulations are there. And other karmas are also there. And Paramhamsa also, like us, we don't keep danda, but then we also have certain karmas. Anyway, so sannyasa ashrama also has certain vihit karmas, nitya karmas, and which is a nitya karma becomes a karma yoga. And jnanam also, jnana yoga also is there, shravanam, mananam, etc. So any lifestyle you choose, you have to have both yogas. One has to follow both. And sannyasa ashrama, well, that the lingam is a danda for karma. And grihastha ashrama, the lingam, the sign for karma is this, a sacred thread. So that's for sure that both are following karma yoga. Both are doing certain nitya karmas. So Bhagavan says, well, Arjuna, whatever the lifestyle you follow, but you have to follow both ultimately. You take up to any lifestyle, but you have to follow both and attain moksha. So now the question will be, okay, if there is a choice between a grihastha ashrama and sannyasa ashrama, well, there is a choice between a lifestyle, then which lifestyle is better? To be a grihastha is better, or to be sannyasi is better? And Bhagavan openly says, between two ashramas, grihastha ashrama is much better. And if an unfit person becomes, then he sannyasastu mahabaho dukkhamap. He told even, that is somewhere else. But here he said, mithyachara, etc. So if an unfit person takes to sannyasa, well, it will bring down the glory of sannyasa ashrama in the society. Sannyasis will come, under a joking matter, etc. And it is happening. Even today also it is happening because of certain sannyasis. Whole sannyasa ashrama is, people are looking down upon that sannyasa ashrama. So that it's better to be in a grihastha. That lifestyle is better for following both, for karma yoga and jnana yoga. So one should lead a life of karma yoga, and at the same time one should gain jnanam, shravanam, etc. should be there. So grihastha ashrama lifestyle is better. That's what Bhagavan openly told. Anyway, so this introduction between 1 to 7 verses, so Krishna's teaching is that Arjuna, continue in a grihastha ashrama, do your duty, purify the mind, and acquire knowledge and be free by becoming grihastha jnani. And nicely said that the jnani grihastha is much better or superior to an ajnani sannyasi. So, and Bhagavan gave his own example, that I myself, is an example that I am a mahagrihastha, and Bhagavan is having a jnanam also, and so the examples are plenty, of course, in the Shastra also. And Bhagavan describes, I told you also, Bhagavan describes a characteristic of a Grihastha Jnani also in chapter 4 and chapter 5 also. Okay, and in the between verse 1 to 7, the very nice verse is that third verse. Lokesmin Vivida Nishtha Pura Prukta Mayanaga Jnana Yogena Sankhyanam Karma Yogena Yoginam, etc. So two lifestyles are there. Take to any one lifestyle, follow both the sadhanams, both the yogas, and be free. This is the essence of verse number 1 to 7. Then verse number 8 to 20, which elaborately discusses this topic of Karma Yoga. And we have seen that Karma Yoga, we have to split these two words, Karma and Yoga. So, it's a mixture of two words. And so, Karma means, in Karma Yoga, the word Karma means a proper action. As such, Karma means an action. But in Karma Yoga, word Karma has a meaning of proper action. And Yoga means a proper attitude. So proper action plus proper attitude becomes a Karma Yoga. So then what is proper action? First thing, what is a proper action? So scripture divides the actions into three types: Sattvic, Rajas and Tamas action. We can understand very well proper action must be Sattvic Karma only. So Sattvic Karma is a best action, Rajas Karma is a little mediocre, and Tamas action is the worst. So Sattvic action promotes a spiritual growth, maximum. Rajas action definitely stagnates one's growth, and this tamas actions definitely tamasic karmas not only they take away the person from the spirituality. And because the problem is, how people ask, by doing a karma which is an external, how you can gain a purity in the mind. But the karma which is expressed at the level, physical level, before that it arises in the mind. Karma arises in the mind. Let me do this. Let me help this. That itself is a purity. That itself is a purity. And as such, the base thing is, I discussed in 16th chapter, karma, if you do karma, every karma leaves behind an impression in you. That is how people are having a habit of doing certain things. How a person can form a habit? Because if you do a one action today, next day also you will feel like doing it. Third day you are doing it. Fourth day you are doing it. It has formed a habit. That's how it is. If you get up for 3-4 days, I'm sure you will, you're at 4 o'clock or 5 or whatever the time. You will definitely, it will form a habit. So karma gets expressed at the physical level, but it arises in the mind before. Because the choosing action itself, the free will is there in the buddhi. And there itself the purity is decided. If you can do a karma based on your free will. If you exercise your free will based on your likes and dislikes, you will gain more and more impurity. You are basically nourishing the ragadvesha. Or free will is based on dharma. Either of that. Free will is based on what you are supposed to do, or free will is based on what you like to do. Either way. And so if you go by your likes and dislikes, so you choose based on likes and dislikes any activity, definitely one will not gain any purity. You decide to do an action by what you are supposed to do. What is supposed to be done, based on that you choose. Definitely, you are cutting your ragadvesha. You are cutting your ragadvesha. Because generally what you like, which is not supposed to be done, and generally what you dislike, which I am so really supposed to do, and that is what is happening. What I am supposed to do, which I generally don't like. All religious activity, I do it out of fear. I don't like to do. People don't like to sit in meditation also. People just don't like. Years of study, they don't like. People don't like puja. People don't like to visit the temples, etc. They just don't like. This is how it is. Certain things I am not supposed to eat, but I like to eat that thing only. That's what it is. Generally, raga dvesha only predominates. Vasanas predominate, free will is not. Action can be chosen from the free will, or action can be chosen from my vasanas, and vasanas only predominate at any age in the life. Even youngster, which we feel he doesn't have much vasana, but he has also so many habits, and he also chooses action based on his habits, and therefore the vasanas means all this likes and dislikes. What vasanas we have? Likes and this is good and that is bad and this is etc. This is favorable, this is not favorable. This is what the vasanas we have. Nobody has a dharma vasanas. That's fantastic. I have Swamiji dharma vasana. I always like to go what I am supposed to do. That's fantastic. And what I am not supposed to do, I don't like. Fantastic. Well, there is no conflict. No conflict at all. Spontaneity. Very rare. That person is directly adhikari for this jnana. Anyway, this is what just by, because somebody asked me this sattvic karma, how it purifies. But this is how it is. Sattvic karma means beneficiaries are more. You have to choose based on not your to get a benefit for yourself. If you choose an action to get a benefit for yourself, means you are perpetuating your own likes and dislikes. If you choose an action for the beneficiaries, when the beneficiaries are more, you choose an action based on that, definitely you will have to sacrifice your likes and dislikes. You have to part away the benefit with others. And therefore, there is the only way out of cutting our ragadvesha is choosing a proper action. Sattvic karma is where the beneficiaries are more. Definitely it will bring a mental purity. And then, well, rajas karmas means I am the beneficiary. I don't hurt others, but I am beneficiary. I do for my own. Well, I do for my own. Whether others are benefited or not, that I don't care. That's a rajas action. Tamas action is I want benefit for myself, but at the cost of others. And therefore, well, sattvic karmas only is the best karma to purify one's mind. And so this is called proper action. Proper action means in which karmas can purify your, it can make you free from your likes and dislikes. Very difficult, very difficult. It's not easy. It's a challenge. It's a challenge. Earlier the better. In fact, earlier the better. It's how it is. At the end of life, all our habits are there in our mind. Free will is not at all there. Will is very weak in a old age. Will is very weak. In a young person, will is powerful, but still he also goes by whatever the habits he has found. Whatever the habits, vasanas. And therefore, very difficult to come out. To purify one's mind. Very difficult. It's a challenge by itself. That's how Bhagavan calls it as a siddhi. Bhagavan calls this as accomplishment. Because if one gain that, means moksha is just away. Just away. It's on the door. If person has a say over his likes and dislikes, means the moksha is very near. Because if the person is spontaneous, very spontaneous, his mind is free from conflicts. When the mind is free from conflicts, this knowledge is absorbed like a sponge. It's absorbed. Our conflicts does not allow to retain the knowledge. More the conflicting mind, less the retention power. This is how it is. So we can talk, this is all Shastra's language, but we can talk in a modern language. We can definitely talk about in modern language. So the retention is less because mind is very, very, anything which is all the time shaking cannot hold anything. Cannot hold. So even understanding also will not be deep understanding. He gets tired. when Shravanam is, little bit here and there, and this all some, things which we have to really Mahavakya Chintanam, he gets tired of it. He immediately gets tired. Sattvika mind means, his understanding capability also, this is just between us. Understanding capability also is very much, retention also is very much. Because mind is placid. So this is a direct benefit, of Karma Yoga is getting rid of this Shatru. Getting rid of the Shatru which keeps your mind all the time agitated for fulfilling, our desires based on likes and dislikes. But people remain agitated. When can I fulfill them? So proper action means Sattvic Karma. One has to choose. Always go by the order, universal order. Always go by Dharma. What I am supposed to do. My free will should be based on that only. I will never exercise my free will based on my likes and dislikes. I will exercise my free will based on the order, universal order, or based on Dharma, etc. That is the proper action. Anyway, we have discussed so much, but I just remember. So Krishna talks about, Karma Yoga, in that the karma means a proper action, and that is Sattvic Karma. And then proper attitude. Attitude is of a samatvam, maintaining the equanimity of the mind. And how one maintains this samatvam? Well, there are two methods. One, it's an attitude. This is an attitude. Yoga means an attitude. Attitude means towards an action. An attitude towards a result of an action. Two things are only there. Attitude behind action is this Ishwaratma Buddhi, dedicating actions to the Lord, so that I don't dislike. Generally, because I have a tendency that, I dislike what I'm really supposed to do. And so you don't dislike any actions when you really offer it to Ishvara, etc. And so, this is Ishwararpana Buddhi. So, in Karma Yoga, what we do is, if I cannot get the action that I like, then learn to like whatever action I am supposed to do. That's the only way. And if I cannot, to develop that liking basically by dedicating the action to the Lord as a bhakta. I do not do any action. Then if I am offering to the Lord, then I don't do any action half-heartedly. And so to maintain equanimity, I should love what I'm supposed to do. That's the only way. Because you will not get all the time an activity which you like to do. So better you start liking the activity which you get it. So that's better. That's better actually. Anyway, this is the only way. Attitude behind the action should be changed. Attitude of offering should be there, because Ishvara is constantly helping me. All the time he is helping me. He is running my life, and several lives. All the time he is fulfilling my desires. Maintaining the life. Everything is available. And I'm staying in this 5-star hotel, and definitely this Panchatarak hotel, 5 elements, and they alone sustain my life. And they all are manifestation of Ishvara, and therefore, I'm supposed to offer my actions to him. Anyway, so this is one thing. And then I'm getting results also. There also an attitude is required. So not only I'm just a karta, but I'm bhokta also. So every moment, the results of my past actions are coming, and the result of an immediate past, and that result, whatever I face as a different situation, that could be the result of my past action, but could be of immediate past, or could be of a remote past also. But especially when it comes from the remote past, etc., and there may be some wrong karma I might have done it in the remote past, means in other lives, previous lives. And then I am right now doing all good actions, and I face some situation, which is really unfavorable. Then people get a question that I am leading such a nice life, and then how come I am suffering like this? I am doing all noble actions, then still why suffering? But we forget the fact that my present experience, basically is not the result of, need not be the result of my present life. My present experience can be the result of remote past also. That is why I lead a even good life, and still a suffering may come. And all noble people had a suffering. Noble people means doing all noble actions. It may be a Dharmaputra or it may be anybody. And everybody has suffered practically. And therefore, and therefore the results could be always of the remote past also, or could be of the past. And therefore, only a way of accepting different situation is to accept the situation by an attitude of a prasada. It's a prasada from, it's a grace of Lord. Any situation comes, well, I will utilize it for making my growth, spiritual growth. Material growth, we are not concerned here, basically. Because most of the things, if it is there in your prarabdha, it will come. Yes, well, but for spiritual growth, I will convert every situation to the advantage of the spiritual growth. So that's called Ishvarapna Buddhi, that whatever I am getting and what am I experiencing in my life is ultimately any situation is Ishvara Prasada. Anyway, and so this attitude basically behind an action, behind a result of an action, well, ultimately leads to purity of the mind. So Bhagavan said in second chapter 48 words that Yogastha Kuru Karmani Sangam Tekta Dhananjaya Siddhya Siddhyo Samo Bhutva Samattam Yoga Uchyate. So this will bring an equanimity of the mind, definitely. This kind of attitude brings an equanimity towards a action, towards the result of an action. And so this is one part. And then Bhagavan started talking about this Karma Yoga from different angles. And that also we have seen. First angle, Bhagavan, the first angle of looking at Karma Yoga is the Karma Yoga can be looked upon as a commandment of the Lord. And Ishvara Vihitam, right, is a commandment of the Lord. So if you cannot understand well the glory and importance of this Karma Yoga, at least follow Karma Yoga out of fear. So this is called attitude of Ishvara's commandment. They say the rules of government, etc. Well, many of them we follow, not that we really understand them and we appreciate them, but because out of fear we follow certain government laws, etc. So, and traffic rules, etc. We also that discussed also. So, basically, so when there is a grossness in a mind, well, then we have to instill the fear. If one is not able to appreciate what is this Karma Yoga, etc., and the spirit behind Karma Yoga, etc., then, because the mind may be gross, so then we have to instill a fear that, well, this is a commandment of the Lord. So definitely you should follow Karma Yoga, you should have a Sattvic Karma, Panchamaha Yajnas, etc. in your life. This much. So what is this instilling fear for Karma Yoga? You should follow Panchamaha Yajnas. Yeah, that is told in the Veda. And what Veda says as a Vihita Karma means this is to be done. If you don't do, you will incur Pratyavaya. And that is true. That's true. It's not that imagination. It's true also. It's otherwise what Veda's statement will be taken as a very light statement. Well, they talk. We should do what we should do. No. Veda says this is to be done and then you are supposed to do. If you don't do, you incur Pratyavaya Papa. And therefore Panchamaha Yajnas, well, we can just Karma Yoga means Panchamaha Yajnas. Okay. Panchamaha Yajnas. Then you are supposed to do. If you don't do, Pratyavaya. So this is an angle of looking at a Karma Yoga as a commandment of Lord through Veda. Bhagavan does not call you or send an email that you should do. Basically, he has already told in Veda, already told in the beginning of the creation itself. Anyway, so the Ishwaragnya is a first angle. And if mind is little mature, not gross but little mature, well then little sensitive, then we say, well, we need not instill a fear then. But it can be out of a sense of gratitude. So follow this way of life as an offering to the Lord, as a yajna. So that is Karma Yoga can be looked upon as a offering, worship of the Lord, you can say. And Pujya Swami Chimyanji used to say that what God has given you is His gift to you. And what you do with that gift is your gift to the Lord. So that's how it is. So he says, what God has given you is His gift to you, and what you do with that is your gift to the Lord. And so, so this is how the thing is, very beautifully he said that when Swamiji has quoted here. So with the life, what I accomplish, what I contribute, that becomes my expression of gratitude to the Lord. So convert Karma Yoga into a worship of Ishvara called Yajna. So there's another angle. First is a Ishvara Agnya, commandment of the Lord, one angle. Second is a Ishvara, worship of the Lord, Yajna. Then the third angle, Bhagavan presents in Karma Yoga as a Shodhakam, means purifying. It's a purifier. So whether you take it as a worship of the Lord or whether you take it as a Ishvara's commandment, it doesn't matter. Karma Yoga is the best method of cleansing one's mind, of making free from Raga, Dvesha, Kama, Krodha, etc. Raga, Dvesha is enough. Kama, Krodha, all this is ultimately this thing alone. Lobha, Moha, etc. So Shodhaka means it's a great purifier. That's a third angle. Karma Yoga is a great purifier. Cleans your mind from these emotions, so-called negative emotions. And the fourth angle of Karma Yoga that Krishna presents is Karma Yoga as a dharma. And it's the only way of life by which a cosmic harmony can be maintained. So ecology can be maintained, environment can be maintained, social harmony, all kinds of harmony. Karma Yoga is harmony. And so you become sensitive towards the creation and aware of the creation, which is nothing but a harmony at a cosmic level. And we have seen that kind of, if harmony is destroyed, harmonies are disturbed, then there is all, chaos. So like singing in a orchestra also, or playing instrument in orchestra itself is within the harmony. Even our chanting here, suppose, not here, means when you chant especially, it happens in Ahmedabad that, we all chant together Bhagavad Gita. Then out of 50-60 students, then, Swami and all people will be in a certain mode. You chant in a certain Shruti, right? But one person would be there, he chants in his own way, and actually one who brings a disharmony, he sings loudly. He is not aware of anybody, and that what Shruti is going on, etc. With that Apashruti, he continues to sing. Whole 3 chapters, 6 chapters, he continues there. We will have to, in between, stop everybody and tell to that person that please be in tune with other people, etc. So that is how it is. So we have least sensitivity. A Karma Yogi's mind is so expanded that he appreciates this cosmic orchestra, cosmic harmony. So he will always play his instrument. What are the instruments of a Karma Yogi? What? Does it have a saxophone, this guitar, what? No. He has 3 things. He has 3 instruments. And one is called a physical body. And other is called his mind. And third is his words, etc. And with all these 3 instruments, he remains in harmony. So he does action, mental actions, verbal actions, physical actions. And he does, with these 3 instruments, he plays in the world and keeping the harmony of the universe. So what is the harmony of the universe? Harmony of the universe is a contribution. And so it is contribution. So with these 3 instruments, he does all contributory actions towards the whole world. So you remain in harmony with the others also. So that is how Karma Yoga basically becomes a dharma actually. So anyway, these 4 angles are there. So this is a very beautiful teaching, looking Karma Yoga from the 4 angles. Ishvara Agnya, then Yajna, worship to the Lord, and the third is it is a purifier of the mind, and fourth is it is a dharma. So Karma Yoga is one which brings a harmony between you and the world. And where there is harmony, there is joy. Simple rule. Where there is harmony, there is joy. Where there is disharmony, there is no joy. Anyway, so up to 20th verse, first line, this whole discussion from 8th to 20th verse, first line. Then in second line of 20th verse, we know Bhagavan started talking about Lok Sangraha. So verse 28, second line to verse 29, Bhagavan talks about the duties of a jnani. And that duties, well, basically, of a jnani, even though it may not be relevant to many people, but because it is duty of jnani, I have nothing to do because I am not jnani, etc. Well, but Bhagavan still wants to talk about that. And Bhagavan says that jnani, of course, does not require any kind of a anusthana of a sadhanam, any kind of a sadhanam he has not to follow here, because he has accomplished the sadhyam, the goal. A means is required only when when you have to accomplish a goal. But after accomplishing a goal, well, the means become really irrelevant. And so jnani does not require karma yoga. He does not require jnana yoga also. He does not require puja. He does not require japa. He does not require tapas. Well, nistraya gunye pathi vicharatam ko vidih ko nishedah. So he has nothing to follow. So he has no do's and don'ts. Bhagavan says, but even though jnani does not require any discipline, all the other people in the society, being ajnanis, they require certain disciplines. And therefore, as long as jnani is in the society, well, nowadays a sannyasi or even a grihastha jnani, whoever may be, they are in the society only. So he should follow certain disciplines to serve as a model to the other people. And so since the jnani being great, the whole society will be looking up to him. And that's what it is actually. And so when a person wants to become like a great cricketer, etc., so then he just not only observe how the Sachin Tendulkar plays, he will take an interview of that person. What do you like, and what are your hobbies, and everything. He wants to follow in every aspect, including his hairstyle. Sachin Tendulkar's hairstyle also he likes. I have seen one person for whom our this tabla player Zakir Hussain was a role model. And then that person also, he is a 22-year-old boy in Ahmedabad. And he's for him a role model is this Zakir Hussain. He loves tabla to play. So that's okay. So you learn how he plays, how Zakir Hussain plays tabla, you also play. Learn more and more. No, hairstyle also. So here also so much of hair growth and everything. So the people, once they are role model, means they will definitely see all the aspects, So jnani being a successful human being, society wants to imitate him. And so if jnani does all this discipline, well, then the society, if jnani gives up karma, etc., well, because he doesn't require now karma yoga, etc., he gives up. Ajnanis also will give up karma. As such, laziness is very much right there in everyone's. What is they say? Alasyam hi sharirastho hi vapuhu. So alasyam, this laziness is right there. Is a vapu in this body. It is right there. It's an enemy sitting in the body itself. And therefore, people will just give up karma if jnani gives up the karma. And therefore, even though jnani does not require, well, he has to do lok sangraha. Means he continues to do many activities which he was doing before also. Or else he may be doing certain activity for the welfare of the society also. So Bhagavan says, Yadyada charati shreshtaha tattadeve tarojanaha sayat pramanam kurute lokastadanuvartade. Society wants models, and so children also always keep the photos of different people in the wall. They pin up the varieties of photos, cricketers and cinema actors and actresses and many dresses. In one person's house, I have seen one particular actor, whole wall, all the 3 walls are full with that actor in varieties of the poses, varieties of the dresses, all the 3 walls. And the people constantly, and the child constantly watch him, that's all. That becomes the impression. So anyway, so people have varieties of the models, in fact, to follow. And so if they nicely say that if elders are not ready, well, in the society, are not ready to give a good models, this the youngsters and the children will pick up any kind of a model which they are not supposed to pick up. And well, anyway, they try to follow him also. So Arjuna, even if you are a jnani, well, better do your duty, because Arjuna may say that, well, I have gained jnanam and therefore I want to give up this duty of fighting the war. I don't, because there are no do's and don'ts. Do's and don'ts are for kshatriyas, but I am not kshatriya, I am Brahman. Well, therefore, no. Well, you should do this duty for Bhagavan said, even if you are jnani, I am accepting that you are a jnani, but for the sake of a society, well, you follow this. Don't bring a confusion in the society. Na buddhi vedam janayet ajnanam karma sanginam joshayet sarva karmani vidvan yuktas samacharan. So, a primary advice to jnani. Loka sangram exit. That has been talked between 28 to 29. And indirectly through jnani, Bhagavan is advising all the elderly people also in the society. It's not just advice to a jnani, this is advice to all the important people in the society, which, who count in the life of the younger generation. And four are there in everyone's life of a young individual who are more important. One is a mother, second is a father, third is a teacher, and fourth is a king. Here now the prime minister. And so, basically, the ruler basically. So all these four are very important people in everyone's life. And so all the four count very much in everyone's life. And so Bhagavan is giving a warning to parents and to other elders and to the rulers, well, that watch your life basically, because even though you do not say directly anything to the children and younger generation, but they are watching you, what you are doing. It's an audio visual effect is much more than any other effect. And therefore, in fact, we need not advise at all. Lead a proper life, and that is better teaching than 100 hours of basically, lecturing. That's what? That's true. Like even if you come here, you will observe me. You will not say, oh, Swamiji, you talk this thing nice and this thing. You want to observe what Swami is doing, what he is talking and what he is doing. Let us find whether there is concurrence or not. That is very natural, very natural. Not just me, any Swami, I am saying, any Swami. You will definitely try to observe that he was talking freedom from sorrow and all this and no attachment. Let us see now whether there is attachment. And that creates a more impact, more than words of any Swami as a teacher, more than. And therefore, for younger and generation or for children, definitely, these four people are very important in the life. And so, what they say is not important. What they do is very important. So, Bhagavan is indirectly telling these elders also, not just Jnani. Bhagavan is talking to these elders also that be responsible. What you do is very, very effective than what you say to them. So anyway, this is a topic from verse 20 to 29. And then from verse number 30 to 35, Bhagavan summarized the whole teaching and talks about the significance of Karma Yoga. And the 30th verse is the most important verse of this chapter, in which Bhagavan condenses this Karma Yoga. And that verse, I have told you, Mai sarvani karmani sanyasyadhyatma chetasa nirashir nirmamo bhutva vidyasva vigata jvaraha. And so he gave a 5-point program to become a Karma Yogi. What are the 5 factors to be taken care of to become a Karma Yogi? That has been narrated. That we will see tomorrow. So partly I have to keep for tomorrow. So still few things have to be discussed. We will see that tomorrow. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.